Great day, kings and queens. Yeah. Welcome to another conversation with Drew, where it's truly, a blessing to be able to share this gift with you guys. Truly humbling and honoring to be able to share the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I've gained through my experiences and through studying, that's causing me to become the best version of myself. Truly that whatever I share with you guys, my hope is that it causes you to become, the best version of yourself. Again, this is a wonderful Wednesday, and it's just truly, man, it's so gratifying. It's such an amazing thing, to be able to embark on a journey of life, and begin to win at life. Today, I want to talk about, who authorized you, who gave you the authority to be the great you, the greatness that's inside of you, the one that will, make an impact on this world, and influence this world for the best. Yeah, man, we need to talk about this thing called authority. A lot of people have misused authority. A lot of people have misrepresented authority. A lot of people have misinterpreted what authority is. And so I want to take this time out today to shine some light on authority and the authority that you have, the authority that's in you that will cause you to be an absolutely amazing person that is literally unstoppable in this earth realm. And so let's talk about it. When most people hear authority, naturally, people shut down, naturally and organically, people rebel because, when we think about authority, the first thing that comes to mind is police brutality. Or when we think about authority, another thing that comes to mind is colonization, or another thing that comes to mind is apartheid or genocide or war on drugs or terror, all of this stuff. That's what we think about when we think about authority. But what's unfortunate is that that's been a misrepresentation of what authority really is. That's been horrifically misrepresented. And so I want to help everybody to understand what authority is. Everything that was created in the earth was created with authority in it. So we all have inherent authority, but that authority does not come from somebody, who gave you that authority, or that basically that authority can't be given to you by man, nor can a title, tell you that you have authority in this earth. Everything was created with authority. So for example, when we look at air, which becomes wind, right? Man can't give air authority to blow its wind. Man can't give that. Man can't establish that. Man has no say so over that. So one day, the wind can truly be something as smooth as a gentle breeze, and another day wind can be something as horrible as a tornado to wipe your whole crib out. But the point of it is that was already in it. That was already inherited in its ability and its gift. So nobody can take that away. Nobody can give it. And I was just doing a little research, and I'm like, man, I know that air is one of the natural four elements of the earth. I said, how does wind happen? And so it was so dope to find out that wind happens because in one area you have the sun shining on that area, providing heat, and naturally the heat that hits the air makes it thin, and so it rises. And then in another area where you don't have that sunlight, where you don't have that heat, it creates a cold air. Cold air is heavier, so it begins to lower. So on one spectrum you have the thin air rising, on another spectrum you have the heavy air lowering, and that creates wind. And I'm like, man, that's fascinating, so that just happens when you get out here and get to studying. But anyways, the point of it is that was created. Its purpose was created to create wind. Its purpose was to give us air. So therefore, no man or no woman can give that. No man or no woman can take that away. It is organic. It is natural. That's how it happens, right? And so my point is that it was created to do that. So nobody can take that away. See, when we think about authority, again, we have this misnomer because it's always come in a form of somebody trying to suppress somebody, or somebody trying to oppress somebody, or somebody trying to limit somebody. And so when we think about authority, it's always with a negative connotation. But that's not the truth, right? Because when you look at things like apartheid, or when you look at things like inequality, or when you look at things like segregation, right? All we saw was these authoritative people who were supposed to be like officers representing the law and representing authority. All we saw was them misusing it. All we saw was them abusing it. The thing is this: anytime someone doesn't know the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable. So you have these people who are supposed to be representations of authority, but the problem is they don't know the purpose of authority, so they abuse it. So now let's get to the truth. You were born with inherent authority. Your inherent authority is in your gifts. Your inherent authority is in your purpose, right? And so let me give you an example. So when we think about apartheid, right? The first thing that comes to my mind when it comes to somebody who superseded their authority or who superseded that authority is Nelson Mandela. Why? Because even though you had all of this segregation going on, even though you had all of this misrepresentation of authority, even though you had all of this negativity or negative connotation when it came to authority, nobody was able to stop Nelson Mandela from using his gift and his purpose and fulfilling it, right? And so that's why we always celebrate Nelson Mandela, because he tapped into his purpose. He tapped into his inherent authority that man can neither take away or man can neither give him, right? And he tapped into his inherent authority through his gift over the domain of what he was created for and his purpose. So that's why Nelson Mandela rose out of what we call misabused or misrepresented authority by government, and he rose out of that and he became a great figure that we'll always celebrate, right? So when we look at something like segregation, again, because the reason why we have to have this idea and this understanding is because, again, when you are a victim of abused authority or misrepresented authority, naturally the conditioning of your mind says that there is limits in life. There's a lack in life. You know what I mean? There are barriers in life. You know, there are walls that I can't go past. There's walls that I can't climb over because of this quote unquote authority. It's a lie. I came to smash that idea today, right? And so when we think about segregation, right? When we think about inequality, the first person that comes to our mind is someone who we were just celebrating, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., right? And so when you understand again the inherent authority that's in you that was given by the authoritative figure himself, the Most High, you understand that once you tap into your authentic self, the real you, the reason why you were born, the reason why that you have a purpose, the reason why you have a gift inside of you, then nothing can stop that authority. It supersedes all other authority. Again, you have to have this understanding and this mentality, because if you are a victim conditionally of man-made authority, then you will limit your own self. Not them. You will limit your own self. They're just doing what they've been trained to do. They're just doing what they've been conditioned to do. But the reality of it is that you have inherent authority that supersedes it every single time, right? So when we look at a figure like Dr. Martin Luther King, and he was dealing with segregation, he was dealing with racism, he was dealing with inequality. So what that means is that there's limits, right? What that means is that there's barriers, right? That's what we've been conditioned to believe, that there's barriers and that there's limits. See, but when he tapped into his gift of influence through his ability his ability to speak, his ability to teach, his ability to lead, something that was inherently placed inside of him, he superseded that authority. This is what you have to understand, kings and queens. We are celebrating Dr. King forever. That's something that won't die out. That's something that won't go away, because he tapped into an inherent authority that gave him power. It gave him dominion, even over segregation, even over inequality, even over misrepresentation and an abuse of man-made authority. His authority still superseded that. That's what you have to understand, kings and queens, that nothing that you are experiencing or nothing that exists that was created by man, whatever it's law, whether it's government, can stop you from expressing your inherent authority. But you have to tap into your gift. You have to find what it is. No, let me say that. You have to discover what it is that you were created for. You have to discover your purpose. Your inherent authority lies in that. It lies in your ability to become the greatest version of you. Nothing can stop you. Not limitations with finances, not racism, not prejudice, not apartheid, not segregation, not inequality, not anything that man has created can stop your inherent authority. Again, just like the air. When the sun shines on the earth and that heat creates that thin air and it rises on another part of the world, there's experiencing not enough sunlight and not enough heat, so that air then becomes heavy and it begins to lower. That naturally creates wind. Nothing gave that authority on this earth. The only thing that gave it its authority was the Most High, so nothing can stop that from happening. Nothing can stop that organic process. It was created to become wind, therefore that's what it's going to be. You were created for a purpose, that's what you shall be. But you have to discover that purpose. You have to take time to discover that gift. You can't allow circumstances and situations to be dictated by man who is only abusing quote-unquote authority. Your platform is waiting for you. Your audience is waiting for you. Your consumers are waiting for you. But the thing is that you have to discover your purpose. You have to tap into the gift that was placed inside of you. That's why it says that a man's gift, his gift, what you have inherently will make room for him and bring him before great men or great kings. Example, right? I was through my studies yesterday. I came across a woman named Susan Boyle. Some of you may be familiar with her. I had no idea who she was. The crazy thing about it is that I've seen her face before. I don't know if it was in a movie or if it was just across the TV screen, but I've seen her face before, but I never knew her story. And so I did some research on this woman, Susan Boyle, and it was an older Caucasian woman. I wanted to say like in her mid to late 40s or early 50s, and she went on this show called Britain's Got Talent, right? And this is how powerful when you tap into your authentic authority, your inherent authority, this is how powerful it is, right? Now, she went on this show. It's just like I think America's Got Talent or American Idol or something like that. Anyway, it was like a talent show. And so, of course, with the three judges, one of them was Simon Cowell. And so she walks out and she looks like the school teacher that you hated, right? You know, kind of chubbier, heavy-set woman. She's not a supermodel on the face. Hair looked a little crazy. She had on your great grandma's favorite dress, you know, and she walks out here. And she's standing before the crowd, and you can just automatically see like the crowd is just heckling. You know, you see the audience kind of going back and forth to laughter, like, who is this? This must be one of them stunts, you know, so that the TV ratings can go higher after we get these laughs out. Ha 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 ha. And so she comes out and she says she wants to be like this famous singer, right? And it's so crazy again, because again, when you recognize your authentic authority, it supersedes everything. And so she says that she's there to sing the song "I Dreamed of Dreams" from the show Les Miserables. I think that's how you say it. You know what I mean? My friend Michelle used to always be mad because I used to say Les Miserables, but I want to say it's Les Miserables, something like that. Let's sipping on some scissors, something. I don't know. You know, so I'm looking at this woman, and everybody is also, even the judges, right? And so they laugh when she say that she's about to perform this song, because they know that it takes great talent to be able to perform this song. And so when the song starts and she begins to sing, she immediately gets a standing ovation. This is what was so powerful, right? Because this woman sung this song like she wrote it. I'm talking about just not in her gift, but in her passion, with her facial expressions. I mean, she delivered this song effortlessly, flawlessly, and it was so powerful, right? Because when she was done, the first judge even said, "Hey, listen, I gave you no shot. I gave you no chance. I thought you was about to come out here and stink up the place." He said, "I give you an emphatic yes." And so it was so powerful because she got this standing ovation. Crowd is roaring, going crazy. And again, she looked like she looked like that school teacher that you love to hate, that got on your last daggone nerves. She was not a supermodel. You know what I mean? She did not have the figure of a fit woman. I mean, she just literally looked like she was about to come up here and just make a complete butt of herself. But the power of her inherent authority superseded all of that. It literally superseded all of that. And now this woman, I Googled her, this woman went on and sung in front of the Queen of England, you know what I mean, and other dignitaries. This woman's net worth is now over $33 million. I'm talking about going from a minimum wage worker to now being represented all over the world by her inherent authority, regardless of what onlookers and spectators thought about her. Because man did not give her authority. Man did not place that gift inside of her. And so because of her inherent authority, just like each and every one of us got, she reigned in her domain of singing. It talked about her sending audition CDs and being turned down numerous of times. Again, she was in her later 40s or early 50s, so she's gotten a lot of no's. She's got turned down a lot of times. People probably seen her and could not hear her just based off of her appearance and gave her no's. But because of her inherent authority, that platform of Britain's Got Talent had to be established so that her gift, her inherent authority, can reign supreme and supersede any and everything that man can create. So you have to understand, kings and queens, that segregation can't stop you. Heckles can't stop you. Hatred can't stop you. Apartheid can't stop you. Racism can't stop you. Prejudice can't stop you. Nothing can stop you when you tap into your inherent authority, which is your gift and the purpose of why you were created. This stuff is blowing my mind because I am seeing that how in every situation, when man tried to use their man-made authority, when a person decided to tap into their gift, when a person decided to fulfill their purpose, it superseded it every time. But again, the thing is that we've been preconditioned by man from elementary school on up, that authority looks like police brutality. That authority looked like slave masters. That authority looked like apartheid and genocide. That authority looked like police brutality in the streets. That has been a misrepresentation of what authority is. Real authority cannot be created and given by man. Real authority comes in a form of your inherent gift. Real authority comes in the form of you fulfilling your purpose. And since you've been given this authority, nothing or no one can stop you regardless of what's going on in the world. But you have to tap into that, kings and queens. You have to understand that, kings and queens. You have to embrace that, kings and queens, and know that you have an inherent authority that was created by the Most High God, the most authoritative one, and nothing can stop that but you. Because the law still applies, as a man think in his heart, so is he. So that's why the conditioning goes on, because it wants to stop you from believing this truth. It wants to stop you from believing that what you have inside of you is so great that it can supersede anything in the earth. Again, what stopped air from becoming wind? It was designed to become wind. It was designed for a purpose. Therefore, nothing or no one can stop it. So it doesn't matter what your supervisor believes about you. It doesn't matter what your mother or father didn't tell you or did not believe when it came to your gift. It doesn't matter what your spouse or what a companion or what a friend or what haters can say about you. The reality of it is this. You are the most important species on the earth. You were sent in this earth with a gift, with multiple gifts for a divine purpose. You have a divine assignment, kings and queens. And whatever is in you that needs to come out of you needs to be cultivated, because where it is that you desire to be in life, it is literally, and when I say literally, it is literally predicated on you discovering your purpose. This woman, Susan Boyle, you can Google her, was literally a minimum wage worker. It said that even being worth $33 million, she wanted to return to her roots. And so she went and applied for a job that can pay her no more than $10 an hour. This was her mentality, but she knew what was inside of her. Her gifting was created for her to be somebody in this earth. And it's taken her all across the world. It said that her CD sold multiple platinums from just her first debut album. multiple platinums. That video that I watched on YouTube literally had over 203 million views because she used her inherent gift. See, she didn't have the looks of a supermodel. See, she didn't have that it factor when you seen her. See, she didn't have that appearance or that image that everybody just gawked after. See, she didn't have that. But what she had was an inherent authority that was inside of her because of what she was created and purposed to do. Kings and queens, when you tap into your inherent authority, when you tap into your gifts, when you sit down to discover your purpose, what I am saying to you is that no circumstance, no situation, no man-made authority, regardless of what it looked like, can stop you. Again, when it came to segregation, when it came to inequality, Dr. Martin Luther King tapped into his inherent gift as a teacher, as a speaker, as a leader, and he began to rise all over the world as a figure that we'll never forget about. When it came to apartheid, genocide, we know that Nelson Mandela tapped into his inherent gift, his inherent authority, his gifting, his purpose. And even though it took 27 years in the prison system, he still rose out of that, became president of his country, and we'll celebrate him forever. What I'm saying to you, kings and queens, is that regardless of any time, you can go throughout history, from Moses, from Jesus Christ himself. You can go throughout history, from the Nat Turners. You can go throughout history when the world said, because of the authoritative figures in this world that is trying to suppress and oppress the human spirit, that it literally cannot stop you when you tap into your purpose. There are figures that we will celebrate and talk about until the end of the ages because they tapped into their purpose. They tapped into their gifts. They did not let the misrepresentation and the abuse of man-made authority to stop the inherent authority that supersedes that authority by tapping into your purpose and using your gift to make room for you and come before a great man. They didn't let that stop them, and they used what they were created to do. That's why I'm telling you, kings and queens, that there is no system in this earth. There's no government in this earth. There's no abuse of power and authority in this earth. There's no man in this earth. There's no thing in this earth that can stop you when you tap into your inherent authority, your gifts, your purpose that's in this world. I'm telling you, that's inside of you. I'm telling you right now, kings and queens, this is what's so amazing. Is that you were born with authority. Nobody authorized you in the earth. You were already validated before you came here. He said, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I knew exactly what you were capable of doing. I knew your purpose before you came into this earth. I knew the gifts that I placed inside of you before you were sent here into this earth. Therefore, because I knew that, I knew exactly what you was going to face. I knew exactly what was going to try to come against you. I knew exactly what would try to deter you. I knew exactly what would be the adversity that you would have to face. I knew exactly what would go on. But I still sent you because I knew that what I placed inside of you, nothing or no one could stop. Nothing, kings and queens, nothing could stop you. What is inside of you is that great. It is an undeniable authority that cannot be stopped. It can only be revealed and it can only be released upon your recognition of it. I am telling you, if you go throughout history, whenever there was some type of adversity, whenever there was some type of crisis, whenever there was some type of resistance, the greatest leaders that we celebrate was always birthed through those moments. If you don't like what's going on in democracy, if you don't like what's going on in government, if you don't like the current president-elect, that cannot stop you from becoming the great person that you are supposed to become by serving us your gift selflessly. That's what's so amazing. What stops the air from becoming wind? Nothing. What stops the water from becoming ice or becoming rain? Nothing. Nothing. What stops the sun from shining? Nothing. What stops the clouds from releasing? Nothing. What stops the earth from shaking? Nothing. And you are the apex of the creation of this earth. What can stop you from becoming the greatest version of you? Nothing but your own thinking. That's it. So I encourage you. I admonish you. I pray with you. I urge you to discover your purpose, your reason for existence. Stop living. Stop living to exist. Stop living to survive. Stop living just to make it by. And start living a purpose-filled life. I'm telling you, what's inside of you, we need. We need it. So it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter if you can't get in on the cover of a magazine or in a magazine. It doesn't matter what your weight is. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. It doesn't matter the texture of your hair or the length of your hair. It doesn't matter how full your lips are or how thin they are. It doesn't matter how big or how tall or how wide or how short or how skinny you are. The reality of it is the inherent authority that's in you, kings and queens. I hope y'all hear me this morning. The inherent authority that's in you cannot be stopped once you tap into it and discover it. It cannot be taken away because no man on this earth, not even your own mother or father, gave you this authority. The Creator gave it to you. And if he won't let nothing stop the natural four elements of earth, water, earth, air, fire, if he won't allow nothing to stop that, why would you think that he will allow anything to stop you? Adversity only reveals the character that's inside of you. Adversity is only meant to bring out to cultivate the gifts and the greatness that's inside of you. It's not meant to stop you. It's not meant to stop you. It's meant to better you. It's meant to validate you. It's meant to confirm the greatness inside of you. Without segregation, there would be no Dr. King. Without apartheid, there would be no Nelson Mandela. This is what you have to understand, that you were created for this moment. That's why I continue to use my voice and speak, because I was created for this moment. There's no platform that I can't go on or that I won't visit. There's no auditorium that I won't sell out. There's no church building that I won't fill, because I understand that I was created for this moment, in this time, and in this season, for this generation here. So it doesn't matter what the music is right now. It doesn't matter what the TV shows that you disagree with. It doesn't matter what's going on in politics. The reality of it is that when you tap into your inherent authority, the power that's in you, the authority that you were created to have and that you were created to express, by discovering your purpose, nothing or no one will stop you. We have too many examples. Do you understand me? I pray that you do. Thank you guys for tuning in and supporting. This is another conversation with Drew. But always remember, it's not a look, it's a lifestyle, because we do this every day not to impress people, but to leave an impression on the earth. I love you, kings and queens. I know that you will have an absolutely amazing day. Again, discover your purpose. Discover what's inside of you. Once you discover that, you tap into your inherent authority. If you want to know who authorized you, it's the one who says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. I knew you. I gave you a purpose. I validated you. I confirmed the greatness that's inside of you. But it's your responsibility through free will to choose to discover that greatness, cultivate that greatness, and then serve us with that greatness. Thank you for everybody who continues to donate. I greatly appreciate you for serving and helping us serve as we continue to take this thing beyond Facebook Live. It's such a blessing, man, to be loved by people and to have the opportunity to love on people. If you have not had an opportunity to donate and you move to donate, hit me up in the inbox for further instructions. Have an absolutely incredible day. This is a wonderful Wednesday, so be wonderful today. Love you guys. God bless you guys. Peace.